So we start with this hypothetical proposal that we talked about before, right? This idea that when you are making a decision, you have to factor in the decisions that everyone else is making. And sometimes, if you want to benefit personally, it will take other people making decisions that will make it so they don't benefit personally. Sometimes you also have to sacrifice yourself and play it safe. This idea is called the tragedy of the commons. So, this is the idea that if everyone acted in their own self interest all the time, ultimately it would make us all worse off, right? If we were all just consuming and taking as much as we could constantly and only living with ourselves in mind, it wouldn't work out, even for us in the long run, right? We have to think about ideas of sustainability. Now, that's become more commonplace today as we think about things like climate change. In an ideal world, to make energy as cheap as possible, we would just keep burning coal and fossil fuels and driving cars whenever we want, right? Things that make modern life convenient and cheaper and easier. But in the long run, that's actually going to screw us all over, right? As the planet gets warmer and becomes uninhabitable. So here's another real world scenario. On your sheet, this is real world scenario number 2. So in this one, how much would you pay for an extra hour of sleep? So imagine that you were able to pay once a week for an extra hour where you get excused, late to school, slip, to sleep an extra hour. And we'll set the price at $3 for that slip. So how many of you, go ahead and write down on your little sheet, will be willing to pay $3? Now, think about, would you be more likely to pay for that hour on a Monday or a Friday? So say you can only pay for it once a week. Would you be more willing to pay for it on a Monday or a Friday? Feel free to pause the video and write down your thoughts. Now let's say we raise the price to $5. Is that making you change your mind? Again, go ahead and pause the video, write down your decision here, and I want you to, on the right-hand side in the box for your reasons, list a few reasons that influence your decision, that make it more or less likely for you to choose Monday or Friday. And were you willing to pay $3 but not $5? Does it depend on the week? Would you have to decide in the moment? Finally, let's say the cost is 1 banana. Are you willing to pay 1 banana for an extra hour of sleep? Now, by this point, I'm sure you've written down different factors that are personal to you. Whether you value sleep more on Mondays or on Fridays could depend on which class you have first those days. It could depend on what you do after school, when you most want your rest. Now, these factors are unique to each person, and when we make decisions, we all have these various factors to consider. For example, if the cost was 1 banana, that might be easier for you if you live across the street from a grocery store and you're like, yeah, I can go buy a banana for less than $3. That makes it easier for me. It effectively lowers the price. Now, if you're like, oh, to get a banana, I have to go get on the bus, go all the way down to the grocery store, go in, pay for the banana, come all the way back. All of that labor to go get that banana, to me, is worth more than $3, maybe even worth more than $5. So the banana is not worth it to me. That's changed the conditions. It's changed those factors that influence your decision. Economics is the study of these decisions and those various factors that affect each of us when we make decisions. So economics is the study of human decision-making and evaluation. Now, in this case, evaluation means to determine the value of something. So the idea is that in general, we are always applying values to everything in our lives as humans. Now, in some cases, this means applying a literal dollar of value or amount, but some cases it just means weighing one thing over another. Well, I have more fun if I go to the beach or go on a bike ride with my friend. Which one is worth more to me in the time? You're placing a value on each one so that you can measure them against each other and make